What if I told you my life was like a shoe? My name is Stephen Olson, and I'm going to tell you exactly how my life is very much like a shoe. Not just any shoe, though. Like a running shoe. Running shoe is very different from most shoes that you see. Very colorful, it's athletic, and it travels from place to place. Usually faster than most shoes that you see. I'm going to tell you how each of those 3 points is very much like my life. Starting with how colorful it is. Just as there are numerous colors throughout that shoe, there are numerous phases throughout my life. I've lived in 3 distinct places in my life, and I've transitioned from each one of those 3 places at key points throughout my life. I lived in San Antonio for 15 years, the first 15 years of my life, living the youngest of 7 boys on a cattle ranch. No stranger to long, hard days out in the fields, working my butt off. First day of 9th grade, I moved to Georgia. From a big city that was 95% Hispanic to a small town that was 85% African American. More than a couple of cultural differences between the two. Alright, I lived there until I was 24 and in loads of trouble. I'm 24 years old, I get a call from my mom. It says, hey, I need your help running a business that I'm running down in Pensacola. I make the decision right then and there to change my life, to get out and do something. I come down to Pensacola, I'm now running a thriving business. I've turned my life completely 180 degrees around. Second, this shoe represents athleticism, everything about it. I've been an athlete since I'm 5 years old. My dad, my soccer coach. I've been running track, soccer, football, basketball since I was 5 years old. I still do to this day. I'm running half marathons, ran one in this 15 days ago. In another month I plan to do another one. I suppose I get that from my mother. My mother's been competing at a high level her entire life. I've been doing the same. I intend on doing that for the rest of my life, if I can, until I can no longer do it. Third, that shoe represents my love of travel. That shoe goes from place to place, like I said, faster than most shoes do. I travel every chance I get. I suppose I get that from my mother as well. When I was 4 years old, she took me on my first trip. When I was 17, she took me all over Europe. If I could spend the rest of my life traveling, I would. And I spend as much energy, money, and time planning my next trip as much as I can. If I can do that forever, I will. As a whole, this shoe, in more ways than I can think of any other object representing my life, this shoe represents me in so many ways. From its colored self, my colored past, the function of it, its athleticism, my athleticism, and the way it goes from place to place as quickly as possible, just like I do. If I can spend the rest of my life making my life more like this shoe, I will. And I will be that much more happier making that happen. Thank you.